Welcome to the Modern Stock Car Cup Tour and race number 3 out of 28 in our third season, here from Atlanta Motor Speedway for the running of the SunTrust 400. This is going to be an interesting event. This is the last part of the 3-race stretch where the MSCECR and the MSCCT schedules are aligned. After this race, they will split off into 2 separate factions of their own and then go on with their respective seasons. In the MSCECR, the 4th race after this is at Darlington Raceway for the running of the Bojangles 250. Now, the MSCCT stays on the East Coast, but not in South Carolina. We go up from Georgia all the way to upstate New York for the running of the Geico 350 at Watkins Glen, our first road course out of 5 on the season. So, there you go. That is where the schedule splits. I mean, think about it this way. Because of the fact that the first 3 races are, aligned, they got to break somewhere. Because the 5th race of the season is at Michigan, and that's not East Coast the last time I checked. So, just keep that in mind. Because the first race was at Daytona, 2nd race was at Homestead, 3rd race is at Atlanta. So, just, keep an open mind, keep an open thought. That's how we're going to roll. Ronnie Martin. You can see him on your screen unless you got your eyes closed, because he is starting 4th on the outside of row number 2. Just think about this. He DNQ'd for the American Airlines 500 because of the fact that he wrecked out in a rookie dash. You have to think now that that rookie dash crash, that rhymes. That rookie dash incident, you have to think that was just a fluke now, right? Because he has qualified not only for the past 2 races, he's qualified well for the past 2 races. He's qualified pretty darn well. He got a top 10 qualifying spot in his first career race. That's never happened before. So, what in the world is, are we supposed to make of that? Even Brennan Wilmington for Pacific Racing. Pacific Racing is running number 2 and number 3. That's good. And the guy who won here last year, Chase Buck, well, he's all the way back near the rear of the field. Where is he on the pit lane? He's actually not too far back. So this is 4th, 6th, 8th, 10th, 12th. He is in 13th. Okay, my apologies. He's not that far back. My camera perception was just off. So there you go. That's my excuse. In any case, how is this race going to go now that we've seen how the MSCECR went? There were very few cautions, very few incidents. There wasn't even a single crash. The only incident was that there was a competition caution on lap 50, and just sort of let it roll. It was 60, no, not 60. Yeah, well, I think it was 65 laps. This was 82 laps. I was originally going to go with 98 laps, but the drivers in the drivers' meeting decided, you know what, we don't want to run that long, so just keep it at 82 laps, and we'll be happy. You might also notice, starting in the 18th position, is Darian Arnsdorf with a new team. He's with Tulsa University and Sooner State Racing. His teammate, Jackson Snyder, is... where is he on the screen? He's pretty far back there. He's outside of the top 20. But they're starting somewhat of a temporary deal, where Darian is running the next 2 races for him with Sooner State, and then returning to the All-Star Speed team. So Carlos Rex has to take over for these next 2 races. So, boy oh boy, I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm going to talk about him and talk about my feelings on this move during the race. But with that being said, let's go to the 65 of Creed Daniel, who is running the frontmost Pacific Racing car. Pacific Racing did pretty good in qualifying, as you can see with Brennan Wilmington and Creed Daniel. But let's take a look at his onboard, because it's time for the driver command for the SunTrust 500.
Drivers, start your engines!
Just like we talked about the transporter. To the end of pit road, the last pit box is a timing line. So the last white line on pit exit is the line. Big thumbs up, my friend.
Time for the
Have a
starting
good time.
lineup. In row number 1, we have Carlos Rex and Creed Daniel. In row 2, we have Ronnie Martin and Brennan Wilmington. Row 3, we have Christian Coppola and Santiago Alvarez. Row 4, we have the 2 BBM cars, Sarah Fang and now Armin Salvador. Row 5, we have Ryan Adema, last week's winner, and Kyle Driscoll. Row 6, we have Nolo Hamilton and Chase Buck. Row 7, we have Jacob Thibodeau and Patrick Starr. Row 8, we have Luis Aguilar and Ian Korab. Row 9, we have Matthew Green and Kurab Srivastava. In row 10, we have John McFadden and Donna Wilkins. In row 11, we have Darian Arnsdorf and Logan Williams. Row 12, we have Yuri Haney and Adeline Galvin. In row 13, we have Emilio Nilsson and Charlotte Kelly. In row 14, we have Sam Joseph, the MSCCT winner, and Nelson Reed. Row 15, we have Calvin Fleming and Dan Wilkins. Row 16, we have Jesse Owens Jr. and Jackson Snyder. Row 17, we have Brandon Allen and Logan Thronberg. Row 18, we have Honor Walker and Riley Led. In row 19, we have John Reese and Chris Lattimore. And row 19, we have Daniel Rivera to close it off. Only 39 cars on the tab for this Atlanta race. There's only enough pit stalls for 39 cars when there's usually 42. So that's why there's an extra number of DNQs for this event. But it wouldn't really matter much in the end of the day anyway, would it? 82 laps of exciting racing on the board for today. Carlos Rex leads the field to a green flag. Lap number 1 complete. Carlos Rex leads. And like I said, there were an extra number of cars who did not qualify for this race, including JJU, Molly Fleming, Leland Hill, Richard Birmingham, and Wirral Daltrip all failed to qualify. They were too slow. Here comes Brennan Wilmington on the inside of Carlos Rex as Ronnie Martin makes a run on the outside. Sarah Fang now coming into the picture. Although Carlos Rex is having to do some extra blocking. He's got his work cut out for him because, you know, when it comes to Atlanta, there is so much room on this track. Here comes Ronnie Martin up the outside. You can't block that many lanes. You can't block that many lanes. You just can't. And Ronnie Martin's going to take the lead, so look at this. Creed Daniel's getting a run on the outside. Does Martin lead? He does not. Slingshot pass by Creed Daniel gives them the lead on lap number 4. It's Ryan Adema on that yellow line. There is no yellow line rule technically at this track, so you can go all the way down to the inside wall and make a pass if you wish, and you won't be penalized. Sarah Fang, one-time winner in the series on the outside. In fact, all of the top 4, except for Martin, is a one-time winner. Creed Daniel, first career win, Southern 500 in Season 2. Sarah Fang, first career win, O'Reilly Auto Parts 500 at Phoenix Season 2, to start the second half. And Carlos Rex, first career win for him was the, excuse me, what's the name of the race? Granger.com 400, which was at Chicago Motor Speedway. One of the more fringe races on the schedule. I won't blame you if you don't remember it. As Sarah Fang gets hooked by Ronnie Martin, comes back across the track and saves it. And she's actually going to keep her position. Ronnie Martin literally hooked the 93 and nothing happened. Wow. Christian Coppola shoots to the outside from the inside lane. Santiago Alvarez, who had a good run here last year and finished inside the top 5, is creeping his way up front. Creed Daniel holding his line. He will lead lap number 6. And Brennan Wilmington trying to sabotage Ronnie Martin, trying to make sure that he cannot be cleared. As Sarah Fang running the track a little bit. If anything, Sarah's trying to get away from Ronnie Martin because he's the one that absolutely just hooked her left rear quarter panel just a few laps ago. Really close to the line, but Creed Daniel holds his ground, and he's going to get pushed from Alvarez and Rex. And Sarah Fang making that outside line really tight for the 14. And old Chase Buck having some problems. He's going to shove Jacob Thibodeau, who he had a rivalry with at this track just last year. See right here, he goes way low and shoves the 87 up the track. But Chase Buck was the winner here last year. But it was not really in pretty fashion, as he had to shove a car out of the way just to take the lead with 10 to go. Man, was it pretty? No. But was it worth it for him? Yes, because it got him his first career win and his only win to this point. But he's got a new team. He's with the 55 Luis Aguilar, and Aguilar is currently running in the 16th position. So if that tells you anything about their consistency, is that they got it pretty good. Look at Ronnie Martin trying to make it 3 wide in between Rex and Alvarez. And Christian Coppola trying to peek to the inside of Alvarez. He was on the outside in that last corner, but he switched lanes and moves to the inside. And there's still running in the top 20. He started 18th, but has moved up at least one spot since then. That's the 05 of Matthew Green, sponsored by a television show about a cartoon. Well, it is a cartoon, but it's about women who served in the military during World War II. Especially in hostile parts of Europe, including Germany. The show is called Girls und Panzer. I think it's Girls and Panzer, sorry. Or Panzer, Panzerati. But it's about women who served in the military in World War II, especially as nurses, as commanders, as leaders. So make sure to check that out. I've personally never watched it, but tell me how it is. And if I said anything that was misleading about that show, I give Matthew Green full permission to just yell at me because I got that show wrong. I've also never watched it, and I'm not huge on cartoons, so take what you will. Santiago Alvarez leads as here comes Chase Buck. Could he become a back-to-back winner at this track? Well, nobody really knows, but it's very well possible because of the fact that Chase has, for everything that we've seen so far, he's been a pretty successful racer because he actually was in the points lead at one time, and he made the championship lottery on just one win. Think about it that way. Ryan Adema made it on 2 wins. Patrick Starr made it on no wins. Patrick Starr was the 5th seed in the championship lottery in Season 2, and he had no wins. So, proves that you can pull a Matt Crafton in this league, you know? Go into a championship with no wins. We're slowing down a lot there. There's no caution, right? No caution. I don't know why I thought that they were really slowing down because of a caution, but Creed Daniels can take the lead back on lap number 14. Look at Christian Koppel getting shoved up the track by the 14. Wow, he's riding that wall really close. Still going to run that outside line, but he got away from the 14, so he's maybe in a better spot, or if not better, in a different spot. I mean, he's running 4th. This will be the best finish of his career besides that 2nd place finish at Indianapolis in the Brickyard 400. You know, that was something different because the Indianapolis race, it wasn't about the wrecks, it wasn't about the conflict, it was about the pit strategy, where Armin Salvador and Christian Coppola went back and forth, and they really exchanged a lot of their, you know, talent for one another, and they really did well. Looks like this top 5. Look at these 5 cars moving on the outside there. That's Daniel, Wilmington, Chase, Rex, Martin. They're all running on that same line. Will it work? We don't know. You know, and I did want to talk a little bit, as I had said in the pre-race, I wanted to talk about the 98 of Darian Arnsdorf, who is running with a new team temporarily. He's running with the Sooner State Racing. As you can see, his teammate and team owner, Jackson Snyder, is in 31st, pretty far off the pace. He is currently, as we speak, he is 5 seconds off the pace in front of Callan Fleming, or in front of Hunter Walker and behind Callan Fleming. But enough about Snyder and on to Arnsdorf. I would like to give my thoughts on what happened and also explain what happened. So, there's a really weird streak going on for Darian Arnsdorf. He has wrecked out in the past 6 races. 6 in a row. That includes the last 4 races of the MSCCT Season 2, including the Championship Lottery, which cost him a championship, and the first 2 races of this year. He was involved in a rather early crash on just lap number 6 of the American Airlines 500, and then at Homestead he was involved in a similar crash on lap number 8. So he's completed more laps in this race than he has all season. Now here's what doesn't make sense to me about this. He's got a new sponsor, Tulsa University, yeah, and so does his teammate, Jackson Snyder. But here's what I don't understand. If you are wrecking out in 6 races in a row, and then proceed to leave your team temporarily, because he's only doing this for 2 races, if you proceed to leave your team and just join somebody else's team, then what does that tell you about loyalty? What does that tell you about being committed to an opportunity and being committed to an offer? He's been the co-owner of the All-Star Speed Team since the beginning. He's been the co-owner since day one. Now, he had full ownership at one time, but he gave up some of it to Carlos Rex, who is currently running in the 5th position, or actually 6th position, but still. Darian Arnsdorf was the co-owner of that team. He was calling the shots 90% of the time when Carlos couldn't be there. So he leaves it all up to Carlos to do something and try to save the team. But here's the thing. If Kyle Busch wrecks out in 5 races in a row, is he going to blame Joe Gibbs? Is he going to blame Denny Hamlin? Is he going to blame his team? No. He's going to blame himself and his own driving abilities. So why in the world, if you wreck out, it's not your team's fault. It's your fault. It's your fault for wrecking. Which doesn't make that just doesn't make sense to me at all. It's a baseless move, to say the least. As 13 of Donna Wilkins moved up the track as Purab 3 Vistava. You know, the 13 and the 98 have had their bad blood before. They even had an altercation on pit lane after the American Airlines 500, and gotta tell you, it was a really interesting battle that I saw, and it was off the track too. But it was because the 48 just wrecked the 13 like a bat out of heaven. And it was just really weird. But they're running in 21st and 22nd as he's gonna try to make a pass on that outside here. Will he be able to? He will not. Or he actually will. Yeah, how about that? But it's just a baseless move. Because if you are going to if you're gonna wreck out, then at least do it with some dignity and say, you know, that's my bad. I gotta be a better driver, instead of saying, no, you know, I just need a break from my team because I'm wrecking. You're not the one who designs the cars. You're not the one who says, okay, you know, I'm gonna make this car bad. It's Ford. It's, you know, it's whatever. So, just, I don't know. I barely have the words to say, because you're 3 races into the season and you're already bailing on your own team. Yeah, it's temporary. Yeah, it's only 2 races. As Darian Arnsdorf comes into pit lane, we're going to see some green flag pit stops here. Got a fair amount of guys on pit lane. Santiago Alvarez went into the grass a little bit there. Chase Buck is your leader. We have a fair number of guys staying out, doing their own thing. Right now, it's Ryan Adema in the lead. And Ryan Adema, the leader, gets hooked into the wall. Brennan Wilmington. And coming down onto the track, avoiding any major collisions, Brennan Wilmington hooks Ryan Adema. You know what? That was an insane move. I talked about Darian Arnsdorf and all that. Well, this is really going to shake up everything. You know why? Because that is now going to mess up the green flag pit stops. Just think about it that way. This happened at Atlanta last year. We had green flag pit stops, then a caution came out untimely. Here we go. So we're going to just let this play out and see if it ends up working. And then we'll show you the replay of what actually happened between Brennan Wilmington and Ryan Adema, since he literally just hooked him into the wall. Also, why is Chase Buck going to pit lane again? He's going to come back up onto the track and make contact with Yuri Najimi. I've been told that that's how you say it. Looks like... Are they calling... I think they're calling Kyle Driscoll the leader. Well, they are on pit lane, so... Oh, and Sarah Feng has a decent amount of damage. What did she do? Trying to take a look here. Did she... Was there an incident here that I did not see? I would assume... Oh! Let's take a look at that again. So, Sarah Feng is just minding her own business. Here's Chris Lattimore. Stopped. Oh! Man. Chris Lattimore. Hard hit. Now, what happened to Lattimore? Okay, so Lattimore hit Brandon Allen, and then he's sliding in. Oh, man. Hard hit. Chris Lattimore's on pit lane. So is Ryan Adema. With that being said, let's take a look at what we saw, because that was such a heartbreak to see Adema go down like that, you know, especially since just last week he tied the all-time record for wins in the Modern Stock Car Cup Tour with 4. Let's take a look. From Super Slow-Mo Cam. So you can see that Adema, you know, he's on the inside. Brennan Wilmington's up there. Now, what I would have done is I would have come up and blocked him. But remember, this is in slower speed, so he might have not had the time. He's also going 190 down there. You know, he's running his regular line, and then here comes Wilmington. He goes dead left into Adema and doesn't let go. Pow! And then Wilmington catches some of the fence too, but I mean, that's pretty hard, but not as hard as Adema got it. I mean, he got it really hard. With that being said, let's take a look at the number 92 of Ryan Adema to see what he sees as he gets sabotaged by Brady Wilmington. What a hit. And what a disappointing start for Ryan Adema. As this will now mean, presumptively, that Luis Aguilar will be in the lead. Because there were some guys that stayed out on pit lane. Because remember, this was a really weird and unconventional sort of way of how we got going. Because there were green flag pit stops just starting as soon as I finished my rant about Darian Arnsdorf. And then not everybody had gone down pit lane by the time the caution came out. So everybody who, you know, had come down pit lane, they were like, well, crap, what do we do? So personally, I would just take that into perspective, but take that as you will. We're going green next time by your current top 10. Why are they scoring Christian Coppola as the leader? Where is Coppola? Where is Coppola? Oh, wow, he's way back there. All these guys are going to have to start in front of everybody else. Oh, my gosh. So, Luis Aguilar, Ian Korab, Nelson Reeves, Dan Wilkins, Calvin Fleming, Jackson Snyder, Darian Arsdorf, John Reese, they will all start in front of Coppola. So your top 10 is Coppola, Thibodeau, Alvarez, Wilmington, Creed, Daniel, Ronnie Martin, Carlos Rex, Patrick Starr, Ahmed Sadler, and Chase Buck, last year's winner. Chris Lattimore, Nolo Hamilton, and Sarah Fang are all out following that, but Wilmington and Adama, who were involved and actually started the caution, they are not involved. Green flag. This is going to be a really weird restart because you have everybody who is on a wave around in front of the leader. Like, the leader looks like he's outside of the top 10, but no. He's just out there. I mean, like, they're all trying to get on the lead lap, and they're all trying to stay on the lead lap, because right now John Reese is in 36th, but you'd think he's running, like, 10th. But Riley Wedge in the 85 is legitimately a lap down. He's currently, if I take a look at my board, he's running 29th. Although he's not... Okay, he's not a lap down. Okay, that doesn't make sense then. So why did he line up on the inside if he wasn't a lap down? This is insane. As they say, SMH. Shaking my head. This does not make a whole lot of sense. Here comes Jacob Thibodeau on the inside, who almost won Atlanta last year, but didn't get it. He had a really good shot of winning, but then eventually Chase Buck took over the lead, and he took home the W at the end of the day. And now Thibodeau looks like he's solidified him back in the lead as Darian Arnsdorf slides up in front of him. Brendan Wilmington behind him, and here comes Ronnie Martin inside the top 5. And I just noticed on the back of Riley Wedge's car, there is some symbolism. If we can take a look at one of the hoods, I think the 62. Yeah, there it is. It's got the rainbow. It says, "We race as one." That's great. That's great. That's In any case, Ronnie Martin leads. Or does he? He does not. Jacob Thibodeau has been hiding. He has been the imposter all day long. But I'll tell you who's really been the imposter. Nelson Reeves, who's running in 29th. He is sponsored by the popular game Among Us. I've made the jokes before about, is the imposter sus or, or suspicious? It's essentially slang that's, like they say, when the imposter is sus. They're really saying, when the person in the game who is assigned as the game's imposter, there's sometimes multiple imposters, but when you are assigned to be the imposter, if you are found to be suspicious, there's slang that essentially is sus. So when they say, when the imposter is sus, that's what they're saying. And there's this meme that goes around that says, when the imposter is sus, and it's got one of those flushed faces, one of the flushed emojis on it, and personally I find it to be really funny, but it's also, humor is subjective, let's be honest here. So, regardless, Ian Korab is doing pretty well in that same pack. I mean, he's fallen back a little bit, but he's still challenging, and so is everybody else. I mean, Ronnie Martin's really given everybody a challenge. But Nelson Reeves, as I was saying, is sponsored by Among Us, which is why at previous races like at Canadian Tire last year, I was criticized by some folks for making a Among Us related joke, but like I said, humor is subjective. But this is not humorous, the fact that Ronnie Martin is leading on lap number 40 in just his second career start, but Santiago Alvarez has given him a real run. And where is Jacob Thibodeau, you might ask? Well, he's back in third, trying to keep his spot because Creed Daniel's given him a really good run on the inside. He might lose that third spot if he's not careful. Now they sort of consolidated into two separate fine lines of racing. Although that might change. Thibodeau, Alvarez, and Martin could go three wide. And, you know, Alvarez and... I almost said Alvarez and Aguilar. Alvarez and Martin are two Argentinian native drivers. We have two drivers from the nation of Argentina. And even though currently Santiago Alvarez is basing his team in Amarillo, Texas, Ronnie Martin is from the popular city in southern Argentina known as Cordoba. I can't roll my R good when I got a dry throat. Cordoba. 40 laps to go. He's running that outside line. He's running it really well. Oh, Darian Arthur almost got shoved there. He avoids it. And Ronnie Martin slides up the track, leaves the door open for Alvarez on the inside. It's the two Argentinians going back to back. And Snyder and Reeves are really the only ones in their way. As we speak, there are currently 27 cars on the lead lap and 36 of our 39 competitors on the track. And Snyder's going to get his lap back, so make that 28 cars on the lead lap, although there's no guarantee that will last long. What did I tell you about it not lasting long? Here comes Jackson Snyder already ready to take his spot back. And Nelson Reeves is actually going to trade places with Snyder. But here comes Jacob Thibodeau on the inside. Thibodeau got his first win in the MSCCT in Homestead. But he's hungry. He wants more. He doesn't just want a lower level win. He wants a cup win. He barely missed the championship lottery last year. And I'm telling you, if he got a cup win, he would have easily made it into the championship lottery. He would have made it in if he got a win or two. But he was robbed at Atlanta. He had a real good shot of winning at Atlanta. And now it's different. Lap number 46 in the books. On the lap number 47, Ronnie Martin still leads. He has a legitimate chance of winning this thing, I'm telling you. Ronnie Martin, I said that last week at Homestead, but let's be honest. When he's leading, he's got a chance. When he's in 10th, maybe don't say that, Maybe don't make such a bold prediction. Dan. Currently, your top 5 is Ronnie Martin, Santiago Alvarez, Jacob Thibodeau, Creed Daniel, and Chase Buck. Speaking of Santiago Alvarez, he's on the outside trying to push Nelson Reeves back to the lead lap. As Nelson Reeves, using that number 10 Stuart Haas Racing font. Found that pretty cool. Alvarez on the outside. He's going to try to get him back. He's going to pass Reeves. He's going to clear him, and Martin's going to get held up by Reeves. Thibodeau getting all the way down, basically dipping two into the grass. Martin on the outside. That outside line has given him a little bit of life. But does it stick? Now the two Argentinians who were just battling just a few laps ago, they're going to help each other now going on the lap number 50. Alvarez goes high, even higher than Martin's willing to go. Here comes Luis Aguilar, a lapped car. Do we have any other lapped cars who might... Oh, there's Brandon Allen. Yeah, he's got no back end. Same with Purab Srivastava and Logan Williams, just not that fast today. I mean, it was just a bizarre restart because of the fact that you had 7-8 cars that were lining up in front of the leader who weren't even in the lead. They were not a lap down, but they were at dire risk of being a lap down. Alvarez and Thibodeau side by side. Martin into the picture. Same with Brendan Wilmington and Carlos Rex, two of the front runners all day. They're going to try to make something happen here. Now you might ask, where is Ryan Adema in all of this? Well, I'll tell you, he is a little bit off the pace, but he's running with his teammate. He's running with two of his teammates. There's Jesse Owens Jr. and Logan Thronberg, the pole sitter for the American Airlines 500. He's currently running in the 18th position, although he's been hovering around the top 20 all day. He was even leading before. Didn't get it. And look at Carlos Rex. He's going to try to make this 3 wide, I think. I mean, he's got no help behind him. Brendan Wilmington is pretty distant. Look at Jacob Thibodeau getting a great run up there. Same with Carlos Rex. He's getting a great run. They're getting a little dicey up there, but I don't think it's going to change much. As Martin's still holding them off. Look at Nelson Reeves on that outside line. He's not even racing for much. He's in 28th and a lap down. He's going to get that lap back. But you know why that's important? If a caution comes out, then he gets to basically spare himself. He gets to go to the back of the field on the lead lap. He doesn't have to deal with the rest of these leaders here. He doesn't have to worry about that. Because why would you worry about that? As now we have some cars going into pit lane. Chase Buck will reclaim the lead. Decent bunch coming in, including Ryan Adema. With Riley Wedge. And there is Ronnie Martin, the leader. Let's take a look at our race off of pit road. You can see these guys on top right corner of your screen. We have some more cars coming in, including a few guys. Ronnie Martin will leave pit lane right in front of Santiago Alvarez. He's basically cleared him. Now, do we see a caution again? You can see Brandon Allen on pit lane. He's going to try to get some repairs done, but not a whole lot you can do there. Ronnie Martin should be able to reclaim his lead here. If not, it'll take an extra lap. Because on my board, he's still getting scored as 22nd. Just don't have anybody mess things up and block the rest of the field. You don't want that to happen. Because it's happened before, and I'll tell you, it'll happen again. Like, here's Brandon Allen coming off pit lane. Is there anybody behind him? No, not at all. Jacob Thibodeau, though, with Christian Coppola. They're right now scoring Adeline Galvin as the leader, but she might be on pit lane. And she is. She's actually the only one on pit lane. Wow, she was really far behind. There's Nelson Reeves. He's escaped. Guess you could say he vented. And now he's on the lead lap. And probably for good. Does Alvarez get a good enough run to catch him? Because right now, Chase Buck is right behind him by, I'd say, about maybe 10, 15 car lengths. But he's in the picture. He's clearly in the picture. But do we see a case where Alvarez gets a good run on Martin and is able to hold him off? I mean, Alvarez is closer. Take a look at your top left corner. That last lap was 0.19. Now it's 0.13. He's obviously getting closer. He's now on that tail of the 29. He could make a move, too. These are two Dodges going at it. And then you got a Toyota in third, a Ford. And then behind him, there's a Toyota, Dodge, Chevy, Ford, and so on. Oh, wrong car. Nope, wrong car again. There we go. It's hard to do this camera work, I'm telling you. And it's getting even closer. Now just 1/10 of a second separates them. They might even start going on separate lines. They're really close. Now they start to separate a little bit. No, that was even closer. 0.09. He's going to get on the inside of Ronnie Martin with 21 to go. They're side by side down the backstretch. Martin is able to clear him, but does he do that successfully going into 3? And does he make the block? He cannot make the block. Alvarez to his inside. To the line, really close, side by side. Martin holds him off by about a half the car length. Alvarez now leads, and they're creeping up on Nelson Reeves again. Martin's going to take the lead back, but he's going to get stuck on the back of Reeves. And actually, both of them are going to get held up. And he's going to split the gap. They're going to split. Wow. Reeves really splitting the gap here and making it really difficult for Alvarez to do anything because Reeves is about 2 or 3 miles per hour slower, and this will allow Ronnie Martin to clear Alvarez by a long shot. Maybe that'll get Ronnie Martin a deal at Pacific Racing. Actually, it won't matter much because look at Alvarez. Here he comes on the inside again. You'd think that Nelson Reeves was a third-place competitor, but no, he's in 29th trying to play, Trying to play life or death with the leaders. Alvarez still leads. Is he able to clear Martin? He might be able to clear Martin. If Reeves wasn't there, he would, but they are on the quarter panel. They're really close to being able to be cleared. Just imagine, like, Ronnie hooks Nelson Reeves into Santiago Alvarez and you wreck all 3 of them. Then in that case, I think Chase would take the lead. But, I mean, Chase won here last year, and he's already 3rd. That's a great battle, I'll tell you. Santiago Alvarez, is he able to clear Nelson Reeves? He is not. This gives another opportunity for Ronnie Martin. Going into 3, if Ronnie gets a good run, he might be able to be in a better spot than he was before. As long as he can run the same line as Alvarez, he might get a draft, and he might be able to slingshot him. Now the lead grows further. Grew about 0.15 of a second there. And it will grow even more now that Ronnie's getting not held up by Reeves, but he's being obstructed, that's for sure. And now Ronnie and Reeves are side by side. And it increased a little bit more, increased by about 1/10 of a second. It was at exactly 1/4 of a second gap between Alvarez and Martin. But if Martin can clear Reeves, then it might make the gap shorter, and it might make it more doable for that 29 Dodge to pass the 16 Dodge. See what he does. He got really close there. He increased his gap, or he decreased his gap by about 1/10 of a second. Now they're close again. Reeves getting a good run on the backstretch. He's actually almost going to pass Martin. Not for position, of course. And off of 4, it goes from a 1/4 second gap to them being right on their quarter panels. Reeves is going to help Alvarez. And Chase Buck is getting closer. He pushes Alvarez with that side draft up the track, and now they're side by side again. Lap number 70 about to be in the books. It seems like Nelson Reeves has done really well in the backstretch. Same with Alvarez. As Alvarez is using the straightaways to get his advantage, and Martin's using the corners to get his advantage. They're using two different strategies to try to pass each other, to try to one-up each other. And with this battle, here comes Chase Buck, now just about a half second behind Alvarez and only about 0.35 seconds behind Ronnie Martin. Ronnie Martin does not have a win in any level yet, and Santiago Alvarez's last win was at Dover in one of the final races, in race number 24, actually, of Season 2. His first career win was at the Coca-Cola 600 in race number 6. Race number 5, actually. Race number 6 was Martinsville. Race number 5 was Charlotte. But regardless, he has 2 career wins in the Cup level. None in the MSCSS, none in the MSC ECR. He's actually not properly running in the MSC ECR, but that's besides the point. And to the inside is Ronnie Martin. Does he make a pass to the line? 10 laps to go. And now Chase Buck is into the picture. Martin's really getting close. I'll be honest, he's getting really close. So is Brandon Allen. Let's take a look. Is he off camera? I think if you... He's right up there. He's that little speck right there going into turn number 1. I don't know if they're going to catch him because he is not that much slower. Going into 3 here, he's maybe about 10 miles an hour slower. They might be able to catch him. I don't know. Here comes Chase Buck, though. Last year's winner could be back-to-back at this track. He could do... Chase Buck at Atlanta might be like Dan Wilkins at Daytona. I don't know. Ronnie Martin's going to the outside. He's been using the inside all of this second half of the race. Now he's going to finally lead another lap for the first time in quite a long time. As Nelson Reeves is starting to fade from the picture a little bit. And now Alvarez and Chase are going to help each other. But Ronnie Martin doesn't need no stinking draft. He's going to take the lead back. And now Chase Buck might make it 3 wide for the lead. They're really packing into each other here. Carlos Rex back and forth. Jacob Thibodeau in 5th. This will be his second top 5 in a row at this track. Ronnie Martin. Oh, does he get a good run? Here comes Chase to the lead. Chase Buck is in the lead. He could win his second race in a row at this track and his second career win at the same track. Ronnie Martin's back in front, though. They're going to keep on duking this out. Alvarez back to 3rd. Close at the line, but Ronnie leads by about 1/2 of 1/10, if that makes sense. What would you call that? 1/20th of a second? I don't know, if I'm being honest. Alvarez again starting to fade now. He would need a pretty good run to get back into the game. Because he's all by himself. Even Carlos Rex has passed Nelson Reeves. But I don't think Rex is going to get into the picture anytime soon. 5 to go. comes Chase back on the inside. And does the 19 give him a good run? It's 2 Dodges and a Toyota in your top 3. And then a Ford and a Chevy to close out the top 5. And then to round out your top 10, you have a Chevy, Toyota, Dodge, Chevy, and Chevy. Ronnie likes to run that outside line. So when he was really confined to the inside trying to battle with Alvarez, he was at a disadvantage, both from a driving preference and also from the fact that the outside line's got a little more grip from to work with. The inside line doesn't help really much of anybody at all. Although here comes Chase Buck. He's been really excellent in the corners. Back to the line, Ronnie Martin still leads, 3 to go. I don't know if you'd call them Ronnie Nation or the fans of Ronnie Martin or whatever. But everybody at Atlanta Motor Speedway who just generally likes this guy is really cheering for him. They want to see him win in his 2nd career start. Doug Doering won in his 3rd career start. Eli Sasak almost won in his 1st start, but couldn't pull it off. And now with 2 laps to go, Ronnie Martin has to just take down Chase Buck for his 1st career win. And if Chase Buck's able to win, that's his 2nd career win. Alvarez is about a ½ second back, so he's pretty far out of the picture. Same with Carlos Rex, who's about 8/10 of a second back from the rest of them. Going into 3. Chase Buck and Ronnie Martin side by side. Martin's got a good run on him coming off a 4 into the quad oval. To the line. White flag. 1 more lap to go at the SunTrust 400 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Martin and Chase Buck side by side. Chase has the advantage off of 2. He might be able to clear Martin. If he does, it's game over. He's not able to clear him. Martin's going to get him back on the straightaway. Going into turn number 3 one final time. They're side by side. Does he get a run on the outside? This is going to be a drag race. To the line. Ronnie Martin gets his 1st career win in just an eyelash of a victory. His 1st career win comes at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the closest finish in MSCCT history. That was 28 1/1000ths of a second. 1st career win for Martin and some history in the books. Closest margin of victory. Your top 10, Ronnie Martin, Chase Buck, Santiago Alvarez, Carlos Rex, Jacob Thibodeau, Christian Coppola, Creed Daniel, Kyle Driscoll, Armin Salvador, and Patrick Starr. But now Ronnie Martin can say that he was in victory lane at least once in the Modern Stock Car Cup Tour. This is Dan Wilkins signing off for now. We will see you guys next race at Watkins Glen for the Geico 350.